Okay, good evening, guys. Today, I decided to turn to doing what Euclidean geometry. So I'm just trying to go with your timeline because I think now it's either in grade what, I don't know whether it's in grade 12 or grade 11. You're busy with Euclidean geometry, so I saw that it will be of no use to proceed with doing what do you call this thing, maybe trig functions or something like that. I'll cover them maybe when you are busy with those things. So maybe if I can just try to write the question. So in most cases in Euclidean geometry, you'll be asked to complete what? You'll be asked to complete statements. Now there's a question which I'm seeing. It says what? It says complete what? Complete the statement so that it can be valid. So now they say the line what? The line drawn from what? From center. From what? From center of cycle, they say perpendicular, perpendicular to the chord. Now they say finish up the statement here. What are we supposed to what? What are we supposed to write here? If like now they ask us to write what? But the question is this, they're saying what? The line drawn from the center of the cycle perpendicular to the chord. They say finish up what? Finish up the statement. So if you're to finish up the statement, this means like at least you should be knowing what? You should be knowing maybe your theorems. So knowing your theorems, it means like here, I'm sure it will say bisects what? Bisect the chord, because they're saying the line drawn from what? Line drawn from center of the cycle perpendicular what? Perpendicular to the chord. So it's something like this. This is a chord. Now this is the center. Now they're saying what? The line drawn from the center of the cycle are perpendicular what? Perpendicular to the chord. So if they say perpendicular, it means it needs to form what? 90 degrees here. So if it's forming a 90 degrees, it means that it bisects the chord. It means like now the chord will be what? This line will be cut into two equal what? Into two equal parts. So it means here you will write what? Bisects the chord. I think if you're to go to your what? To your theorems, you'll find something like this, wherein you'll write what? It bisects the chord. So that's your answer. Now, let's say that, seeing that the next question here, it's more like related to what we just wrote here. Before I even rub bisect the chord, yeah, it's bisect the chord. I'm not seeing any I'm not seeing any questions, so then it's fine. Now, let's talk about what we've been given a question here. It's saying what? I think it's saying 10 point what? 10.2. It's saying what? A, B is what? Is the code. So here I'll try to write all the information that is given so that you can also relate. AB is the code of what? Of cycle. What? Cycle center what? Cycle center O. They say OE bisects what? Bisects chord AB. And then they say A what? AD is equals to 12 centimeters, and also ED is equals to 8 what? 8 centimeters, and then also you say OD is equals to XCM. So yeah, you're having something like this as what? As your given information. And then now the diagram is like this. You have something like this. Let me draw it on the side so that at least we can be able to answer questions without rubbing. Let's say the drawing is like this. Yeah, something like this. So here you'll be having what? They say AB is a chord of a cycle. Let's draw the chord what? Either way, let's draw it maybe here. If it's here, let me draw this here. And then here you have got E. Here you have got O. Here you have got, what do you call this thing? You have got, let's say that A. And then you've got B. And then now they said what? AD, where is A? This is A. And then this is B. And then this is E. And then meaning this is D here. So now they say AD is 12. It's 12 here. And then they say ED. ED is 8. And then OD is X. You've got something like that. And then now, yeah, I think that's the thing. Now, the first question now says what? Turn to the, you have A what? AD. No. They're saying determine the radius, yeah. Determine the radius. Determine the radius or what? OB in terms of X. So now guys, once you get something like this, nah, here I'm trying to write all the information that they normally what? They normally give you when you're drawing what? When you're doing or solving for cycles, so that at least you can be able to understand what I'm doing. So now here they say determine the radius of what? Of OB in terms of what? In terms of X. And then now, in doing that, determining the radius is just from what? It's just from the center up until what? Up until the circumference. Okay, let me try to show you, because other people, they still experience a difficulty in what? in naming things. Here, do you see that this thing, okay, this is the center here. If a line is just drawn J anywhere around what? Around the cycle, and then it's from one part of the circumference to the other part of the circumference, this is just a chord, this. And then, but if something is drawn like this, do you see like it's a line from one side to the other side, passing through the what? Passing through the center. Now this thing is a diameter. If now a line is drawn now from the center up until what? The circumference, without it maybe just it from what? Just moving from the center to the circumference, that thing is the what? Is the radius. So in this case now, what they are referring to the radius. So the radius now, it means it will be, what do you call this? It will be O what? OE. So it means in terms of x, the whole radius from here to here, this part here, which is just here, it's an 8. This part from here up until what? Up until here, it's an x. So it means this thing will just say x plus what? X plus 8. And then what? And then you're done. And then let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next question. Then now, the next question, so it's just that. So now the next question says calculate the diameter of the what? Of the cycle. Says 2. Calculate what? The diameter of, they say calculate the diameter of the cycle. Now, if they're to say that calculate the diameter of the cycle here, actually they're just saying what? Calculate the value of x. Because if you found what OE to be x plus 8, it just means here you're going to get the value of x. After determining the value of x, you just multiply this 8x plus 2, you multiply it by 2. So by just looking at this thing, you'll see that there is a right-angled what? There is a right-angled triangle. So in this case, this is the right-angled triangle. Why am I saying this? Because they said what? AB is a what? Is a chord of a cycle with center O, and then they said OE. OE what? OE bisects the chord what? Chord AB. So this is chord AB. So if it's being bisected, it means these two sides are what? These two sides are equal. You get it? So in this case now, it just means, okay, try to write what? Try to write things in terms of other what? In terms of other values. So in this case, it means you'll have the what? You'll have the following thing. Here you are having O. This is O. And then this is D here. And then this is A here. So here, AD. This is just a 12. And then what do we have here? And then OD is just an X. And then we found the radius to be something. Found it to be what? X plus an 8. So that's why I first drew that diagram, so that you can be able to understand. Because here, coming from here up until what? Up until there, it's a radius. So it means it will just say what? X plus what? Plus an 8. It means also here you are having what? 8 what? 8 plus an X, or X plus an 8. So it's still the same thing, because it's the what? It's a radius. But here you are having what? This 12. This 12 is actually there and also there. So that's why you're having something like that. So now we can see that here we just have to use what? Theorem of Pythagoras. So this is O here. So you'll write, what do you call this thing? You write O, A, and then what? Squared is equals to, this will be a what? AD squared plus O what? OD squared. So in this case, what is your OA? OA is just what? Is just an x plus an 8 squared. What is AD? AD now is just a 12 squared plus, what is OD? OD is just an x, and then this will be squared. This, when you simplify it, okay, let me not skip steps. This is just x squared plus 8 multiplied by x will just give you 8 what? 8x. To give you 8x, and then plus 8x, and then plus 60 what? 64 is equals to 12 to the power of what? 12 to the power of 2. 12 to the power of 2. This will just give you 1, 4, 4, and then plus this will just give you x squared. So now let's just simplify now. Now simplifying, here you have what? Okay, let me write everything properly. Here you'll have x squared and then plus actually it will be minus this x squared which is here. Say minus x what? X squared, and then this will be plus 16 16 what? 16x plus 60 what? 64 minus 140 what? 144 is equals to 0. So if we were to check here, you'd see that this one and this one will go out, and then 16 will just be what? It will just be 16, and then an x is equals to, then 64 minus 144, you get an 80. So it will be a negative 80, but when it goes to the right hand side, it will be a positive what? Positive 80. So now it means x will be equals to 80 divided by a 16. Now 80 divided by a 16, you get what? You get an answer of 5. So it means, therefore, let me write here so that you can see, x is equals to a 5. So it means where there is an x, go and replace with a 5. So in this case here, it means I will have what? 5 plus an 8, which will give me what? This will be a 13 now. And then it will just be a 5. So it means if I'm to calculate what? Calculate the diameter. Here got my hypotenuse as what? As a 13, and it's a radius. So it means diameter will be equals to 13 plus 13 is equals to 26. So that's how you're supposed to have written this or answered this question. And then now let me check if you guys have got any questions. No, in this case I'm not seeing any what. Yeah, OB is a radius. Because OB to what? To Bridget. OB and also OA, they are the same. They are equal. They are radiuses. And then I'm not seeing any other question. So it means we are fine. Now let's move. So now moving on, let me check for the question here. This question is saying they're saying in the diagram O, let me write it O. O is the center of what? Of the cycle. O is the center of the cycle, and then you've got A, and then B, and what? And D are points on the cycle. They are points on the cycle. So yeah, having something like this, né? As your, this is the statement which is given, and you have yeah, having something like this. And then you are having I think this one is going to require us to prove a theorem here. By the look of things, you're having something like this, and this is O, and then this is B, then this is A, and then here this is point, let me say this is D here. And then it's saying what? Using Euclidean geometry methods, prove the theorem. Yeah. They're saying prove. Prove that, prove A O B, angle AOB is equals to twice the angle of what? ADB. They're saying you need to prove something like that. They say clearly indicate what? Any construction lines. So now, when you get a question like this one, guys, né, what you need to do, I'm sure this is within what? This is within your notes. So I would say that, let me try to rub here so that you can see the drawing. So here you are having a D here. So now, because they're saying you should prove that AOB is equals to 2A D squared. No, why do I keep on saying squared? A DB. So what you need to do here, I'm sure you need to construct this thing here. Now, so after constructing, you will then say what? You will then say, okay, you have got what? You have got now A, D, O. And then also you'll have what? Maybe you will have also D, O, B. But the thing here, I think, which we are looking for, it's a matter of like, we need to show the steps. So the first step here, you'll say draw line what OD. This is the first line which you drew. This one which I shaded here. So this is the first step which you have to do. So after doing that, now it means you need to say that because you drew this line, you have to then say DO. DO is equivalent to something, or it's equals to something if we are to check. Because don't forget that this is the center of the cycle here. It's still the center of the cycle. So if it's the center of the cycle, it means, don't forget that DO, it's a radius, and also OA is a radius, and also OB is a what? It's a radius. So in this case, you'll then say what? Now you'll then say this, you'll then say O what? OB is equals to O what? OA, which is then equals to O what? OD. These are what? These are radiuses now. You just say radi. No? Radi, or you can say radi, but in most cases when you're proving, radi, or you'll say line what? Line O what? OD. This one which has been drawn. This is the meaning of what? Line, you know? Line OD. It's common. So now, once you have done this now, it means you will have what? You will have angles now. So you have done the part of what do you call this thing? You have done the part of naming the radiuses. Now what is left is you saying what? 1 here, and then also this will be 1 here, because this angle will be what? And then here maybe you can write a 2, and then here you can write a 2, because these angles are different from each other. So in this case now, let us look at the first what? Maybe let us look at the first diagram. This one we also what? This will be 1 here, this will be 2 here. So you'll be having something like this. Let me check if I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think the drawing needs to be like this. So now, go ahead now and calculate now. Let's look at the first drawing. Let me just try to draw it here. You will have this so that it can make sense when I what? You'll have something like this. This here, it's O what? It's O1. And then here it will be maybe 2. Here it will be D, which is D what? D1. And then here it will be what? Here it will be A. So you'll be having something like this. So it means, now look at this what? Look at this diagram. We're trying to name or get this angle, what this angle O1 is. So in this case, we'll say, okay, if you are to add something, check something. If you are to say angle what? Angle A plus angle what? Angle D1, you'll see that they will give you what? Angle O what? O1, which is this one here. The reason now for that will be what? To be an exterior angle of a triangle. So in most cases you get what? Exterior what? Exterior angle of what? Of a triangle. So EX just means exterior, or EXT in most cases you might get it like that. And then this less than sign is just saying what? Angle. And then the triangle just means what? This triangle here. So it means you'll say exterior angle of what? Of a triangle. So it means you have got what? It means you have got that. But now, if you are to check something, this year and this year, There's two things here. This is more like an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where what two sides I think, yeah, it's an isosceles triangle where two sides are equal. I'm not sure if I'm correct. Wherein, like now, and I said these are radiuses. It means OA is a radius and also OD is a radius. So it means you can say this side here, it's equals to this side there. So if this side is equals to this side, it means this angle which is here is equivalent to that angle which is there. So it means also here we can say what this A here and this X here, they are what? No, this D there, they are equal. So it means I can say where there is A, I can then come and write what? D1 plus D what? D1. Then I'll still be having O what? O1. So in this case, I'll have what? O1 is equals to 2D what? D1. So you'll be having what? You'll be having something like what? Something like that. So now, let's move on and then come and do what? The next part. This now it should be O2, not O1. This should be O2 now. Now, this is this. I'll try to keep it like that. Now, let's move on to the next what? Let's move on to the next triangle. Moving on to the next triangle, it means we'll have more like the same thing. It means you'll have what? This kind of thing. Then it will be something like this. And then something like this. And then this is O what? O2. And then this is what? Yeah, this is O2. And then O1, O2 here. And then this is what? This is B here. And then this is D here. This is D2 here. And then, yeah, it will be something like this. So let me just say maybe O what? Maybe let's say O3 maybe here. Let's say this is O3 and then maybe this is O4. But it's not of that importance. So it means here you will have what? You'll have the same thing. This is more like what? This here, it's more like a radius because you have got DO and also what? OB. So these two things are equal. So if these two things are equal, it means this angle here and also this angle is what? With the D2, they are equal. So let me not erase anything. This is D2 there. This is an X now. No, I'm just trying to say that they are equal there. So it means like now you will have angle what? Angle B plus D what? D2 is equals to, this will give me O what? O2. Reason now will still be this one of saying what? Let me write this thing properly. It's not a G, it's a 2, and then O2. Reason here will still say what? Exterior what? Exterior, and then angle of what? Of a triangle. So you'll still be having what? This reason here. So now it means angle B is the same as angle what? Angle D2. Because of what reason? Because of this. These radiuses are what? These radiuses are equal. So in this case, you'll have what? You'll replace a B with what? With the D2 plus D what? D2 then is equals to, this is O what? O2. So in this case, you'll just have what? You'll just have 2 D what? D2 is equals to O2. So let me write it properly. O2 is equals to 2 D1 D2. So you'll have something like that. So now, after having something like that now, what does this mean now? It means like, let's try to check now. You are having A, O here, and then a B here. So this thing now, It means you can say angle AOB is equals to what? Angle AOB is equals to what? Is equals to, look at this thing. This is O2 and then this is O1. So if you have to check angle what? Angle AOB is what? AOB is the same as something. Is the same as what? Let me not write it in this way. Let me write O1 plus O2 is equals to, this will give me what? 2D1 plus 2D2. So after getting that, what is O1 plus O2? O1 plus O2 is this part here. So this will just give you what? This will just give you A, O, B, and then is equals to, this is 2D1 plus 2D2. So 2D1 plus 2D2 is the same as you saying what? A, what? A, D, B. So let's remove the common factor of 2 here. 2 as a common factor, you'll be left with D1 plus what? D2. So now A, O, B will be equals to 2 into, what is D1 plus D2? It's just A, D, B. So it's A, D, B. So in this case, you will have what? A, D, B. Then now, your answer or your final answer will just say 2 ADB and then AOB. You'll have something like that as your final answer. Let me check if you do have any questions. So now, let's move past that. I'm not seeing any question relating to this, but here in most cases, this kind of a theorem is what? It's there in your what? In your textbook. I'll suggest that you go and what? Revisit it. And then let's move past that. So here, guys, I'll say it's more about understanding than me doing what questions, because I can do all the questions in the what? In the world, no? But what it needs, it's for you to just understand the concept. And then if you understand the concept, I'm sure you'll be what? You'll be okay. Like for an example, this question which I'm about to do here, I think it requires you to maybe implement the theorems which you have learned. I think here you'll be having something like left something like this. I think here you're having a triangle. So you're having something like this. Yeah. I think you left something like this. This is 3. This is 2. Okay. Here, this is the center here. So there's a line here. So here, it's a 2. Here, it's a 1. And then this also, there is another line here. This is a 2 here. This is a 2. This is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 50 degrees. Then this line is equals to this line. And then this is a T. And then this is an S. This is a P. And then this is what? This is an M. Okay, 1, 2, and then 3. And then what else am I missing? Okay, this is R here. So now they're saying in the diagram below, O is center. Let me write given. O is what? O center. So let me write O there. O center of the cycle, what? Of cycle. This is R, M, P, what? PS. Then now they say T is the midpoint. T is midpoint of, T is midpoint of what? T is midpoint of RM. And then R, angle R is equals to 50 what? Is equals to 50 degrees. Now, the first question says this, 11 point, what I think is 11.21. It says calculate with reasons. Calculate with reasons. A, and then O2, and then B, they're saying angle S, and then you've got C, P what? P1, and then D, it's what? It's T what? It's T1. So I would say, guys, look at what has been given, and then try to what? Try to solve. Maybe try to solve on your own first and see. Now, I'll be giving you time as I'll be busy with maybe analyzing the diagram here. Let me check if I do have another color here. So now here, they're saying calculate with reasons O2, angle S, angle P1, angle T1. Let me check if this thing is working. Okay. Now, they are saying O2. Where is O2? Do you see that O2 is here? Nah? Do you see that O2 is at a familiar place? At a familiar place. I think we are just coming from proving this. Now, if you are to check here, it says angle at center is twice the angle at the circumference. So it means that this will say what? Angle 2 is twice what? Angle what? Angle R. Which means this will be 2 multiplied by a 50. This here, as your reason, this will say 100. Reason, it will say what? And that marker is finishing, it's getting finished. It will say what? Angle at center, your reason. Even though if you just write this, angle at center, the marker will give you what? Full marks. As long as you got also the what? The right value of what? Of 100. Because if you say angle at center, it just means angle at center is twice the angle at what? at the circumference. So it's still okay. Now let's look at what. So it means here I can then write what? 100. So now look at angle S. Where is angle S? Do you see where angle S is? Do you see that you guys, you do this thing? It's more like what? Angle is what? Angles in the same segment. That's the first thing. But you know why I'm saying angle at the same segment? It's not the answer to what? It's not the reason for what? For this what? For this angle here. I'm just talking about something else now. You talk about what? Angles in the same segment, which can be something like this, or which is something like this. Now, for us to be able to use the reason which says angles in the same segment, it means all these 4 points, these ones, they need to have touched the what? The circumference of the cycle somewhere. So in this case, it means it will say this, and then something like this. If you have to check, you see that if maybe I'm having A, this is B, and then this is C, and then this is D. If now I say maybe this is 60, and then now I say what is this angle here, you can then say also this angle here, it's a 60. The reason you'll say what? Angles in the same what? Angles in the same segment. But if we were to look at this diagram which is here, do you see that you have a more like similar what diagram to this one? But the problem is this other part here, it's within what? It's touching the center of the cycle. So if that part, let me just try to draw it out so that you can what? You can see what I'm referring to. You are having something like this. You are also having something like what? Yeah, having this is S, yeah? I'm doing it for those ones who sometimes they have what? They have got a difficulty in what? In removing or analyzing the cycle. So you need to analyze it in this way. So look at where the angle, look at the angle which they want you to what? To identify or get the value of. So you'll see that that angle is here, it's angle S. Now look at all the possible what theorems which you have learned. Like you'll see that you'll have angle at center, you'll have angles in the semicircle, you'll have all those things. Now try to identify which one is applicable here. So now this is P here, and then this is M here, and then this is O here. Now here you are having what? Let me check something. You're also having this here, which is saying a 3 and a 2. So this is the thing. Now here you are having 100. Because this thing, let me first draw this thing. We are only looking at the what? At the diagram or the angle which they want us to what? To identify. So this thing is more something like this. Do you see that this is the center here? And then this fourth point here, it's not touching the circumference. So it means the theorem which you have to be looking at, it's the theorem which says what? Angle at center is twice the angle at the circumference. So it means this angle here, it's twice which angle? It's twice this angle here. So it means this angle here, it's what? It's a 50. Do you see that? So it means you can then write what? 50 here. Reason will still be this one. Angle at center is twice the angle at the circumference. So I hope you understood this part, this one. Let me write the reason here maybe underneath. I'll write angle at what? At center. So this is the thing. But if you're to look at this diagram, that is not the only way in which you can determine what? You can determine S here. Do you see that there's also the same drawing now? Let me rub now. The same drawing, but now I'm trying to show you multiple ways of analyzing this. It's not only one way in which you can get the answer here. You'll get something like this, and then something like this, and then something like this. Here it's R here. This is R, and then this is M, this is P, and then this is S here. Here you will have what? No, this won't be like this now. This will be a 3 here. And then, yeah, you'll have something like that. Do you see that now this R and the S here and the P here and then the M here and also what? R there again. Do you see that all the points here, they touch what? They touch the circumference. And then here the value is a 50. And also it means this value here will be a 50. Why? It will be that reason of saying what? Angles in the same what? Angles in the same segment. Why are we saying angles in the same segment? Né? Others, they will say it's because they are subtended by the same chord. Sometimes you get something like a chord here, an invisible chord wherein you say what? These things, they are coming from this, they come here, go back, they go up again. Do you see that? So that's more like how you should what? Analyze this thing. I hope you understood that part. And then now, let's move past that and then go to P1. Let's look at P1. Do you see that P1 is somewhere? Look at where P is. Now P1 is. P1 is somewhere here. Ne? But there is something like a drawing which is like this. This is P1 here, and then this is M here, and then this is O here, and then now this is 100 here. This is 100. This is 100, nah, guys. So if this is 100 here, what does this mean now? Do you see that this is what? This is OM and also OP are radiuses. It means this is what? Let me write here, radius. And also this is what? This is also radius here. So if, because, why are we saying that? Because this is the center, which is here. So it means this side is equals to this side. So if these two sides are equal, what type of a triangle is this one? I think this is an isosceles triangle. It means an isosceles triangle is one where what? Two angles, your two sides are equal, resulting in two angles being what? Being equal. So it means it will be this angle and this angle. So it means you can then say what? Angles of what? What can I say? You'll say sum of angles of a triangle, they add up to 180. So you'll say 100 plus P1 plus M is equals to 180. So now P1 and M1, they are equal. So it means where there is M, you can then write what? You can then write P1. So it means I'll say plus here, I'll say P what? P1. And then also here it will still be saying what? 100 plus P what? P1 is equals to 180. So it means it will then say 2P1 is equals to 180 minus 100, which just gives us an 80. Now, it means you have got 2p1 is equals to 80. Now, divided by 2, and then divided by 2. So it means the 2 and 2 will cancel. 80 divided by 2, it means you'll have p1 is equals to what? 80 divided by 2 is just the 40 most. So you'll have something like this. So it means your value of what? Of p1. It's just going to give you what? It's just going to give you a 40. So reason, here you'll say what? Isosceles triangle. No, isosceles what? Angles of what? Yeah, you'll see something like angles of an isosceles. This is your reason. Angles of an isosceles triangle. Now, when you talk about a triangle, you also have to name it. Ne? That triangle which we are referring to, or the triangle which we are referring to, is just what? It's triangle. Let's look. This is OPM. That's the triangle which we are referring to. Because sometimes, not sometimes, if you're writing and then you include a triangle like this, you need to name that particular triangle, because others, they just say angles of an isosceles triangle, and then they don't name the name of a triangle. And then an examiner or the person who will be marking can give you a wrong, because you just said what? Angles of what? Of an isosceles triangle. We don't know which triangle you are referring to. So you need to name the type of what? The type or name of the triangle you are referring to. So that's something like that. And then now, let's move past that and then go to the last part. I think the last part was asking us to determine T what? T1. What is T1? Let's look at the diagram. This one, it's much easier. Look at something here. When we started off this lesson, we started off by what? By proving, by that theorem which says a line drawn what? A line drawn from center to the chord what? To the chord bisects the chord. So if you're to look at this thing, you can see that the chord is being bisected in such a way that the TR is equals to TM. So if TM and TR are equal, it means this here, it's perpendicular here. It means it's bisecting or cutting the what? The chord at 90 degrees. So it means T1 is equals to what? Is equals to 90. So the reason for this will say what? Midpoint. Most cases you say midpoint what? Theorem. You'll say what? Midpoint theorem. My handwriting is bad here. You'll say midpoint. You say midpoint theorem, or you can say what? Line drawn from center. Yeah, you can say these two things. You can say that line is drawn from the what? From center to the what? To the chord. It means it bisects the what? It bisects the chord. So that's the thing. So let me check if you've got any questions before I move to the next one. Before I move on to the next question. So I'm not seeing any what, not seeing any question here. So it means let's move. So like again, guys, yeah, when we are dealing with Euclidean, I'll say it again. This year it's more about understanding the concepts, understanding your theorems, looking at the diagram and trying to analyze it. Like even me myself, when I solve other questions, yes, I experience some difficulty. I don't want to lie to you. It's just through practice wherein some of the things I'm just able to see from what, by just checking, okay, or maybe I can say through experience, like doing a lot of questions. You'll then see a pattern to say, okay, yeah, I need to identify such things. I need to do this and everything. So that's the thing. So let me check another question if there's anything. Okay. Okay, I'm having a statement which is saying complete the statement. And then they are saying the angle they are saying the angle subtended by an arc. An angle subtended by the arc. Yeah, by an arc at the center, of the center of the circle is, and then they ask you to what, to complete this statement. And then now I would say that read the statement fully, and then what, and then check what they are asking you. So now, okay, for I'm trying to read your comments here. For Tabelo, ne? I'll try to check for that particular question, because in most cases, I just open random question papers. I'll see as time goes on. Just is twice the angle subtended by the arc at the circumference. I'll say, yeah, that's fine. Hey, man, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Sundali? Yes, what you just said is what? It's correct. So here, it just means twice the size of what? It will say twice the size. Twice. It will say twice the size of what? Twice the size of the angle subtended. To say twice the size of the angle subtended by the same thing, by the same what? By the same arc at the what? At the circumference of the circle. So you'll have something like this. So this is the thing. So I'll say that this is just showing, this question is just showing you that you really need to know your what? Your theorems. Know them and be able to state them. That's the thing. Let me wrap this because I think the next question requires me to draw the diagram. So guys, don't worry if I haven't done a question which maybe you feel like it's best suited for you. Don't worry, we still have got other days, because in most cases I normally do a topic like for long. Maybe sometimes I do it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I'm sure within those weeks I will have covered whatever maybe you want me to cover. Okay. Because to say that I will cover everything today, I'll be lying there. So this is something like this. This is D. This is C. This is B. And this is this is O. This one, this is A. Yeah. Now they're saying, let's say this is given. So given diagram, they're saying A, B, C, D are points on the cycle. As in like A, B, C, D. They're points on the cycle. And then you have got to O, B, C. And then let me just write this one. O, B, C is what? Is 40 degrees, which is this one here. And then BD, and then they say B what? BD is equals to, BD is equals to DC. So you have something like that. So now, what is the question saying? Now the question is saying calculate with reasons. And say B, A, C. And then 2 saying B, D, C. And then the third one saying what? D, C, B. So now I'll give you a chance maybe to go what? To go through this thing. So by just looking at this thing, look at where BAC is. This is BAC. Now look at something here. They didn't just give you this 40 for nothing. You will have to use it. So if you're to look at this diagram here, let me try to dissect it now. This here, do you see that here you are having a center O? So it means you are having something like this. You are having this, and then this, and then this. This is your center O. If that is your center, so it means this is C, this is B. It means OC and OB, they are radiuses. It means they are equal. I'll write here radius. This is a radius. So if this is a radius and here you are having a 40, what does it mean about this? It also means this is a 40. The reason will be what? The reason will be angles of an isosceles. So it means the first thing which you will write here, because also the marks here, they determine what? They determine the number of steps. So in this case, you say B, angle B, let me write it properly. It will be OBC will be equals to OCB is equals to what? 40 degrees. Né? The reason here will be what? To be angles of what? Of isosceles. Of an isosceles what? Triangle. Which triangle? It's OBC. So this is your reason. So now find this angle which is here now. So finding this angle, angle O, so it means you're going to use what? Sum of angles of a triangle. They equate to what? To 180. So it means you will say angle BOC is equals to, look at BOC is equals to what? OBC plus OCB. So this OBC it's a 40. Let me not write it in this way. Let me say plus this. They give you 180. Sum of angles of a triangle. OBC and what? OCB, they are 40. And then equals to 180 here. This will still be saying BOC. This will say plus here. Do you see now that BOC? BOC is this one, guys. And then what? OBC. OBC. BOC. BOC is this one. And then this will just give you 180 minus an 80, which just gives you 100. So it means this here is 100. So now you can then come and write as a second what? Reason here or step. You'll say BOC is equals to 100. Now the reason for this will say what? Sum of angles. Sum of angles. This is not the sign for angles. Sum of angles of triangle. Which triangle? It's OBC. Then you're done with the first part. Now, let's look at what? Let's look at the let's look at theorems now. Here you're having 100. Also, you're having a 40 here. So, do you see that here you are having something like this? Which now it will say angle at center is twice the angle at the circumference. So if this is angle at center, it's twice the angle of the circumference. It means this angle at the circumference is what? It's a 50. And then this is 100. So it means here you'll have what? 50. So it means now You'll then say B A C is equals to 50. Reason will be angle at center. Angle at what? Angle at center. Your angle at center is what? You can say twice angle at, I think this is no longer relevant, at circum. You'll have something like this. So now at least you wrote three what? You wrote 3 steps. So these steps, they are leading you to the last one, which now makes sense. If there is 5 marks, you get all the full 5 marks because you explained how you reached what? This point of saying a 50. Because you can't just say it's a 50 without showing the steps on how you got what? To that 50. So this is the what? This is the thing. So now let's move past that and then come to what? To the part of what do you call this thing? B, D, C. B and then D and then C. Now there's that part of what are you seeing about what? B, D, C. I think this is no longer relevant. Now look at the reasons, or look at where BDC is. BDC is here. Let me check. Yeah, having something like this. So it means here you're having a B, this is a D, and this is a C, and then this is an A. In this case, this is a 50 here. So what is this? I think there's someone who asked me about cyclic quads here. Now you need to what? You need to think about the properties of a cyclic quad. I think these 2 things now, they're supplementary now. They add up to 108. So you'd say BDC. You'll say angle what? Let's say BAC plus BD and then C is equals to 180. This will say angles of a cyclic quad, angles of cyclic quad. They add up to what? But in short, you can just say angles of cyclic quad supplementary. You can write a short version of that. Just that here, I'm just trying to show you how it came about. BAC, it's a 50. And then plus BDC is equals to 180. So BDC will just be 180 minus a 50 will be how much? It will just give you 130. So it means you're done now. Do you see that? So this is how you try and analyze what? Cycles. Then now let's move past that. DCB. Where is DCB? Where is B now? DCB. Okay. What do you have to do now? Here we have 130. If this is 130 here, and then the triangle itself is like this. This is 130, and then this is B, and then this is C, and then this is D. And then they've already told you that DB and DC, they are equal. So it means also this here is what? It's equal. So it means, say, so this just means you'll have in this case, let me just say angle what? Angle D plus angle C plus angle B is equals to 180. This will just be sum of these angles of a triangle, sum of angles of a triangle, and then DCB. And then you find that D and C, they are the same. So you just write D plus a D is equals to 180 what? 180 minus 130. So it means you'll have 2D is equals to 180 minus a 30, get a 50. Then 50 divided by 2 just means D is equals to 25. So it means you say D, C, B is equals to 25. The reason here will be sum of angles of an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. The triangle which we are referring to now, it's what? It's DCB. So this is how you're supposed to what? This is how you're supposed to answer this kind of a question. So, and then that's that now. So we are having, let me check if there's a question. So I'm not seeing any questions when it's regarding to this what? Regarding to this topic. Okay, let's move past that. Then so now you're having a diagram like this now. What is this thing saying now? Saying something like this. And then having something like this. And then and then this is the center here. This is center O. This is D. This is 2. this is 4. Then this is 1 here. This is this. This is 1, this is 2, this is B. This is A. And then B1, B2, and some stuff. This is E. And then this is D. And then this is F. And then this is C. So, this means here you're having, okay. They say in the diagram below you've got OAD. O, no, not O. You're supposed to say AOD. This is your, like, AOD is what? It's a diameter. And then you've got ADB. ADB, it's 62 degrees. And then you've got BC is equals to then CD. So that's the thing. Then now the question is asking you with reasons to determine what? 1, to determine BCD, and then this is angle BCD. Then the next one is saying CDF. So now, let me check if there's any other question which I'm leaving out. So now, if we were to look at this question, do the same things which I've been doing throughout the session here now. They are saying determine BCD. So while I'm doing this, I'm giving you time to also what? To also check. To also check what are you seeing? What are you seeing? So now, BC what? BCD. So it means if we can either, I know this is 62. Let me check something. Okay. I think I do see. So now here, you guys, you learn about what? Angle at semicircle. You learn about tangents, something like that. So now, if you're to check something here, do you see that, okay, here you've got this. But do you see that there is also this thing? Let me say something. Angle at semicircle. So you have got something like this. Angle at semicircle, it means that you've got a triangle. I think it's supposed to be something like this, where in here to be a 90 degree, and then here maybe it will say something like what? This will be something like this, and then here maybe it might be the what? To be the center. So it's supposed to be like this. So this will be something like this. This will be something like this. Do you see that you have got a situation like this here? So if you do have a situation like this here, so do you see that it's here? It's B1. So it means here we can then say this B1. So we can then say B1 is what? B1 is a 90 degree. So it means the first thing which you'll write here, you'll write A, B. No, just write B1, man. B1 is equals to 90 degrees. Angle at semicircle at semi. semi what? Angle at semi cycle. Angle at semi cycle. Yeah, angle at semi cycle. Something like this. This will be your reason. Now, because you got this as a 90, now there's something else which you can what? Which you can say now. So what does it mean to BAD? So it means like now you will say angle BAD is the same as what? Hey, let me not jump steps here. Let me say let me write it here because it's going to make that space to be full. Your BAD plus AD B and then plus ABD is equals to 180. This is a sum of angles of a triangle. BAD is this. It's what we are looking for. BAD. It means it will be equals to 180 minus ADB. ADB is just a 62. And then ABD is 62. And then ADB, okay. Here to say minus this one, ABD, it's just a 90. So it will say 180 minus 90 minus 62. So it means you got what? Got 28. So now you then say BAD is equals to 20 what? 28. Now you'll say what? Sum of angles of a triangle. Sum of angles of a triangle. Yeah, I forgot to write the triangle. Should be A, B, D. Now, once you're done with that, now let's move on to the next part now. It means here you've got what? You've got 28 here. So after getting 28 now, do you see that these points B, C, D, and the A, they are all of them, they are touching the what? They're touching the cycle. So it means this is a cyclic quad. So it means you can then say, I'll just write B, I'll write B, not this, A, D plus B, C, D is equals to 180. Angles of a cyclic quad here. These are angles of a cyclic quad, né? So after that, now it means I'll say BAD, I know it is 28. So it means B, C, D. So it means it will just say 180 minus 28. So how much will you get? 180 minus 28. This will just give you 152. And then you are done. You get your 5 marks or 4 marks or 3 marks. And then that's it. And then let's move past that. And then come to CDF. CDF. So now, look at what? Look at CDF and tell me maybe what are you seeing? For CD, what? For CDF. CDF. I think CDF, né? If you have to check here, you'd see that maybe you're having what? CDF. It's this angle, this one. This year you got it to be 152. 152? Okay. Yeah, having this triangle, yeah. This is C, this is D, and then this is B. Sorry. This 152. So here it's an isosceles triangle. So if it's an isosceles triangle, it means this angle and this angle are equal. So it means we'll say what? We'll say C plus D plus B, it will give us a 180. Then it means what now? C is 180, is one. Let me first replace things here. D and B, they are equal, so I can replace with either. I'll write 2D is equals to 180 minus C. What is C? C is just 152. 152, 180 minus 152, then it will just be 180 minus 152. We get 20, what, 28. 2 what, 2D. Then 28 divided by 2, it will just give you a 14. So it means this year to be a 14. To be a 14. So here we'll say what? Angle B and angle D is equals to 14. Here we'll say what? Isosceles what? Angles of an isosceles. Angles of an isosceles, ne? After then, what do we have to say now? CDF. 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 If this is supposed to say this, man, this, and then this here is supposed to be equals to this. This is the turn chord theorem. So therefore here, based on what I just drew now here, you are having this here. This angle here will be equivalent to this one, which is here. So it means this here is a 14 here. Reason will be that it's a turn chord what? It's a turn chord theorem. So it means here you'll have it's what? C, D, F, yeah. C, D, F is equals to what? It's equals to 14. Here you'll write turn chord. This will be a turn chord what? Turn chord theorem. And then that's it, guys. If you can check today, also when I was doing this thing, I saw a trend. I was doing questions based on what? Identifying what? Angles. Hopefully, maybe next time I'll start doing what questions which will be proving. But I think this is a good start for what, for some of you guys. At least you'll be knowing how to dissect what, how to dissect the, the thing. It will be what, it will be good for you to do what, to do this thing. And then let's move what, let's move past that. So moving past that, I think guys, today we came to the end. I normally what, the lesson what ends at 10, guys. I think we'll meet again on Wednesday at 8. So I'll be continuing with this thing. So let's meet again on Wednesday at what, Wednesday at 8. So I'll be continuing with Euclidean geometry. So that's the thing. So those ones who want to join and then get notified when I go live, you can just click on the link there on my bio. It will just send you straight to the what, to the WhatsApp group, and then that will be it. So guys, I'll see you on Wednesday at 8. Wednesday at 8. So yeah, enjoy your evening. Those who are on holidays, enjoy your holidays then.
Do you know what's hiding in your business's data? Companies of all sizes use BigQuery to uncover new insights from their data, like cost savings, Make me